Hello Internet and welcome to Stochastic Plastic. Sorry about the break. I know it's been like 2.5, almost 3 months since my last review video, but there were holidays and things to do. But I'm back, and we're going to take a look today at the new Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior class Bumblebee. Warrior class is the new deluxe class, basically. So before we get into him, we'll take a look at the package pretty quick. Not a whole lot going on. We got some art up there of our hero Bumblebee. Looks pretty cool. Pretty similar to the toy. A couple differences in the paint, but yeah, we'll let that slide. Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Bumblebee. Got a picture there. We got the instructions all on the back here. They don't seem to have the instructions on a separate piece of paper now. They're just all on the back here, but it's pretty simple. It's just changes in 7 steps from robot to car, or car to robot, whichever way you want to go. Not too complicated. I mean, it's for ages 6+, so they're not going to make it too super duper complicated. But it's just your standard, bubble on card, and that's pretty much it. There's all sorts of languages down here now. It is an authentic Transformer, in case you were wondering, I guess. That's about it. Oh, and you can buy these other guys. Be sure to buy these other guys. We got Grimlock, Steeljaw, Strongarm, all sorts of fun Transformers for you to buy. But we're here to look at the toy itself, not the box. So let's do that. Bumblebee comes packaged in his robot mode, which is pretty cool. Pretty solid robot mode, I would say, for this size class. Nothing too unexpected or out of the ordinary. The transformation itself we'll get into in a minute here, but I've transformed him back and forth a few times, and it's pretty fun. Not too complicated, like I said, but overall fairly satisfying for the most part for a Transformer. Let's take a look here at his sword before I set it aside. So here is Bumblebee's sword, which I don't think has a name yet, at least not on the packaging. It doesn't seem to have a name for the sword, but maybe in the show they'll give it a name. The show is set to premiere in February, I think, or sometime in the spring, is what people have been saying. I'm not exactly sure. The sword is pretty nice. It's made of this translucent blue plastic that's very stiff and breakable, I would think, which I would rather not do. But it's pretty nice. It's got some cool molding, little spiky bits. It looks fairly accurate to the one they got here, for the most part. Yeah, you can totally see that. The spiky bits and the handle. Pretty cool. I like that it's this translucent blue color plastic. It wouldn't hurt to have given it some paint on the handle area and just have left the blade blue, but it's pretty cool. So we'll just set that back there, and we'll take a look at Mr. Bumblebee himself. Now, you might notice right away this big old Autobot insignia in the center of his chest, and that looks a little bit different from the one in the cartoon. All of these warrior class ones seem to have this decal on it instead of like what we're used to with the tampographed thing on the other ones. But again, I think it's pretty fine. Not a major difference. Some of the other warrior class Autobots have a bit more glaringly different designs to them, but this isn't a review for them, so don't worry about it. He does have that similar smirk going on his head mold. Pretty nice head mold, I would say. He's got the smirk, he's got the head thing, he's got some pretty nice light piping going on in there. Look at that. Ooh, piercing blue eyes, Bumblebee. Very nice. And all in all, pretty cool robot mode. One troubling thing is his distinct lack of heels. It's like very noticeably lacking in the heels area. So standing is a little trickier than it should be, probably. It's best if you have him sort of you know, squatted, sort of, or you can get some decent poses out of him in the legs, but nothing super dramatic due to the lack of heels. Just getting him to stand like straight up is kind of an ordeal. These little these little car flaps on the back can almost help. This one in particular seems to be doing a better job than the other one. So that's not bad. But, you know, you just gotta fiddle with it until it's there. And, you know, he'll stand pretty well. You just gotta lean him forward a little bit. Or, you know, give him some sort of stance, and he'll stand just fine. The legs themselves are pretty nice. Molded nicely enough. Nothing too ornate or detailed, but you know, there's enough shapes to imagine some detailing. These roof panels of the car are kind of super duper annoying, to be honest. You know, they transform pretty simply. This is the top of a car, and then they just go down there. And they do sort of click in, but not as much as you might expect. It just feels like this roof part should have had another small level of transformation in it, like fold these back windows in a little bit, because you got a big old leg there, and the window up here really restricts bending in the knees, so you're only getting not even 90 degrees of bend in the legs in both of them, which is a little bit disappointing, but not as bad as it could be, I guess. Otherwise, though, the legs have great articulation. They got a double swivel at the hip area, a swivel at the thigh, right there. You get a little bit of toe articulation, which is helpful, but, you know, that's just part of the transformation. So, you know, it is helpful, though, for standing. For more articulation, you got swivel at the waist. He's got, I think it's a ball joint in there, in the head. It's kind of hard to tell. You can't really get him to turn more than that, though, because of his big old chin there getting in the way. But look at how smug he is. He doesn't care. Shoulders, pretty nice, you know. You get a fair range of action on these shoulders, ball jointed in the body and the arm, so they're on a little bit of a peg there. Elbow joints, he's got them. You get a swivel and a bend. Nothing in the wrist, but that's alright. One thing I want to say is I really enjoy how these elbows are designed. If you can see, there's this little piece that, you know, makes the elbow, but you can still see the joint inside, and I think that's pretty cool, and I would like to see more stuff like that on these guys. So let's give this guy a quick transformation. We'll start with the legs, I guess. So you just twist them around at the hips, push up these two parts, the roof of the car mode, and tab them in. They tab into the legs there, and then they tab together here. And the feet themselves tab together. After you fold them down, they tab in together there. And straighten that up. Arms, you just straighten them out and swivel them down on those shoulders. And do that for both of them. Make sure they're straight. And slide them down. You've got, you're getting there. That's pretty Bumblebee-esque. Fold up this bit to hide his head away, and it's a little tricky. His head crest likes to scrape along in there as you fold it in, but it'll move. So you got that, and then the last thing is you just get the doors parallel and fold them down in there. They slide in between the shoulders and the arms, if you can see that. So that's, the doors slide in between theirs. And then you just kind of, you know, Transformers, line everything up, squeeze it all together. Peg what needs to be pegged, tabbed what needs to be tabbed. And there we've got Bumblebee in his vehicle mode. And, you know, I like this vehicle mode pretty well. It's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the Batmobile from the Batman animated series, the 2004 one, where that was just called The Batman. It kind of has that feel to it. It's sort of boxy and sleek, and I like that. I like the design of this vehicle mode. A little lacking in the paint department on the back, but that's not a huge deal. It's kind of to be expected, honestly, with this class of figure. One thing that's a little bit annoying, but you know, it's a problem for Hasbro, is to match the yellow paint with yellow plastic. It's just always a little different. So you can definitely tell the difference between the yellow of the plastic they used and the paint they used to cover the translucent blue plastic of the windows. But I do enjoy that translucent blue. It goes nicely with the yellow. and matches the headlights. He's got those annoying blue headlights, which is fine. And there is a little bit of weapon storage down here. You just tab the sword in on those two little tabs, and it works kind of well. I think my figure in particular is just a little bit looser than some. It doesn't feel super secure on it, but it pretty much works, I think. I've noticed it works better one way than another. I think this way is better. But, you know, weapon storage is not the best ever, really, generally. But it still rolls pretty nicely with the weapon down there. And it hasn't fallen out yet, and it sticks out like a little tailpipe there, which is kind of funny. I can't imagine they didn't do that on purpose, because they didn't give him any other tailpipe, so I think that's what the handle of the sword is supposed to be. So all in all, I would say this is a pretty good start to this Transformers Robots in Disguise toy line. Bumblebee is the star of this show, so they might have put a little bit more effort into this guy, more than some others that I've seen. Other than the standing issues that he has, it's a pretty solid figure, I would say, and I would recommend him. And believe it or not, this is my first ever Bumblebee Transformer toy, and so far I'm digging him. He is the bee's knees. Haha, get it? The bee's knees. It's a joke. You're supposed to laugh. So in closing, I would say I definitely recommend this Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee. He has a lot of cool design features, I think, and is not really disappointing at all, except for maybe the legs a little bit, but I think that's something that you can easily overlook. So if you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching, and have a good day. Oh, and you can have a fun, like, shield mode Bumblebee, if you like. Hello.